Can you swim? Because to tell you the truth, I certainly can't. However, together we must learn how to navigate the river of misinformation and bias that lies ahead of us. Like Red Cedar canoes navigating river rapids, digital tools and education can help guide us to cleaner waters. According to Stanford University, over 80% of online content is now influenced by AI. And at the same time, MIT studies show that false information spreads faster than accurate information. So while people are consuming more information than ever, they are understanding and trusting it less. This is our solution, AI-Phillic, Phillic meaning loving, which is a hybrid app and browser extension that lets its users critically evaluate information and expand what counts as knowledge by including experiential and indigenous ways of knowing.
So who is in our canoe? We are 4th grade 12 students from Arnie Mountain. This is Justin, our recorder and data organizer. Yugon, our organizational lead and also the one who focused on technical development. This is Sabrina, our facilitator who also led our artistic design. And I'm Jenny, the presenter who focused on integrating our creative ideas together. We are the demographic that has been most affected by this issue as we've grown up with AI-influenced information and have experienced firsthand how difficult it is to evaluate what is biased and real. And that shaped every decision within our solution. So how can we navigate the sea of misinformation?
Well, Jenny, let's conduct a situational analysis. As quoted by one of our experts, if we trust AI to inform us, who is making sure that it truly understands us? We surveyed stakeholders familiar with AI, and a couple of key concerns emerged. Firstly, 55.6% of respondents said that schools do not address the root causes of AI misinformation. Secondly, 66.7% of respondents said that schools are not teaching skills required for children to analyze AI information. As such, this leads to some issues. Firstly, there's the issues of hallucinations. Generative systems will often spit out incorrect facts or citations. Secondly, there's bias, the underrepresentation of minority communities. And lastly, there's narrow knowledge definitions. These systems often prioritize Western published data over lived tradition and experience. Linking this back to one of our survey respondents, it is essential to consider the ethical considerations in regards to AI in order to ensure its successful integration into society. So Jenny, how does our game fit into all of this?
So, for our Idea Summit, we focused on actually encouraging students to use AI as a tool while avoiding a black and white understanding of AI use. We did this by using a Mario-themed challenge where students were given very specific AI use scenarios and they had to evaluate very rapidly whether that scenario was acceptable, questionable, or a violation of AI use by throwing balls into the correct pipes to save Princess Peach. Alongside that, we also had a discussion board where students were able to actually reflect on their own decisions by putting their own thoughts and opinions onto specific AI topics. So Justin, what did we learn from this?
Within just 2 minutes, about 68% of respondents miscategorized at least one AI use scenario, showing that many students still struggle to distinguish between accurate and inaccurate AI use. That's why our solution has 2 components, the AI-Phillic Learning Hub and the Online Information Scanner, that come together to encourage reflection. Instead of labeling AI as simply good or simply bad, we built tools that help users evaluate AI with more nuance. See the canoe here? Our AI-Phillic Learning Hub is like our canoe, the way it helps users build critical evaluation skills as a foundation. As one of our AI experts, Mr. Taylor shared, one of the most effective ways of sharing knowledge is through the telling of a story. As you can see on screen, our lessons begin with engaging stories that are inspired by oral storytelling traditions expressed in many North American indigenous communities. That's why we envision co-developing learning materials with indigenous stakeholders who are integral to developing these teachings with appropriate cultural context. Lessons then teach things like identifying AI hallucinations, and understanding how information can be framed online. So lessons then end with reflection and quizzes using gamification to build long-term results. So Yvonne, now that we have a canoe, what else do we need?
Yeah, so even with the canoe, you'll still need paddles to navigate through an ocean, which is where the AI-Phillic Online Information Scanner steps in. Easily accessible as a browser extension or within our app, all of our features are designed to help the user critically evaluate information themselves without us making any hasty conclusions for them. So for example, right now, we're looking at an article about AI. Let's critically evaluate this information using our extension. So using our scanner, we can easily check the author's credentials, the publisher information, and other outlets on how similar topics are being discussed. To assess the article's reliability, our scanner can also detect language patterns, specifically words that are meant to provoke interest. So phrases like breaking news or the worst ever are flagged, so that the user can start evaluating the article for such activity. As our Métis educator stated, understanding context is just as important as understanding content, which is why we embedded that contextual framework into our tool. So the user can answer these questions themselves using critical evaluation, such as who is speaking, whose perspective is missing, and who benefits from this knowledge being believed. And finally, we'll directly scan the entire article. Every sentence gets cross-referenced with other online sources to see whether they support or contradict the content.
Our solution has to be feasible, and that's why we took multiple steps to reach the current realistic and scalable version of AI-Phillic. We did this in 4 key phases. 1 being releasing the prototype, 2 being advertising and actually building a community around our platform, 3 being actually reaching out to our stakeholders via surveys to actually improve our platform, and 4, which we're also nearing, being our final step, is releasing AI-Phillic fully onto the internet, accessible for everyone, which is also the clearest waters as misinformation is being filtered out.
To ensure practicality, we fund AI-Phillic through a freemium model, and this essentially means that students are able to access free core features while educators can access premium subscriptions with advanced educator dashboards and analytics. In addition, we also have technical elements such as web crawlers and APIs, and these essentially extract information and cross-reference them with existing academic databases. In addition, we also have the element of integration, so students and schools benefit from AI tools. So, AI-Phillic is not just helping users navigate information.
It is redefining how knowledge itself is understood.
And in a world shaped by AI,
That changes everything. Thank you.